Hey everyone, I'm Gloria S, Crump, the Queen of Real Estate. Thank you for joining us this week's Tea Crumpets here at the Coastal Leaders Realty Group. And this week we have special guests Savanna and Logan Grissom, the owners of AC by the Sea. So thank y'all for coming.
Thank you for having us.
I love the name. Who came up with that?
Me.
I love it. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit, background about yourself, how, AC by the Sea got started. We already know you, the genius behind the name. So
Yeah, go ahead.
So we started in 2023, we moved here in 2023, excuse me. And then June 1st of this year will be our 2 years in business.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. This year will be 2 years. June 1st will be our second year in business. And really we brought our family here.
Yeah.
We wanted more of a community, somewhere we could build our life, build something better for our children. And
You can't beat it.
can't beat it.
Okay.
So we brought our HVAC business here.
That's awesome.
Did a complete rebrand. And yeah, that's really why we started it. And to provide good quality HVAC service to people here.
That's great, because there's a lot of people that, sometimes I hear some horror stories of how people got taken advantage of and things of that nature. And so it's a shame. So it's great that, y'all came down here with a vision that y'all have already been in the business and y'all like, okay. So y'all want to build it. So that's great. That reputation is key.
Logan started in Destin. So when he started HVAC, however many years ago.
Yeah.
2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're used to the coastal market.
Right.
How the coastal market has an impact on the HVAC systems. And so going into that, obviously it's totally different from being near the salt air versus being north where they don't have those environments. So what is unique about this area and how it affects those HVAC systems being near the coastal market?
Well, it's an unfortunate effect, I would say.
Yeah.
'Cause to be honest, you're lucky to get 10 years out of the system here. And obviously the closer you are to the water, the less that number goes down.
Yeah.
Now you can prolong the life of a unit with good maintenance every year, but it's just nothing guaranteed.
Like I was telling earlier, how when I'm showing properties, there are condos, across the street from the beach, just close by. The corrosion, it can even, the units could be just a couple of years old and the corrosion's already had an effect. And people were thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to replace it. And I always say, not necessarily. We got to get it inspected. But, is there anything they can do? Is there a coating or anything that people can put on?
So Carrier, Carrier actually offers a coastal coating on their units. Not really sure. I think they might be one of the only brands that do that. I'm trying to think.
I think they're the only brand.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah. Do you see that even being beneficial?
Yes and no. To be honest with you,
it's probably more of just appearance.
Yeah, it's really just appearance, because the coil might be coated in that, but still all the copper inside the unit.
Oh yeah, that's not coated.
It's not coated. So with that being said, the corrosion, just like you were talking about,
it just prolongs.
Right.
It's the appearance of it, so to speak. And you said that one time you were at a property and somebody had actually spray painted.
Yes, they dismantled the whole unit and spray painted all the metal and the coil.
I was just going to ask the copper too.
The copper, the fan motor, the fan blades, etc.
And it was not with any coating like for...
No, this was definitely aftermarket.
Okay, like a spray paint.
Right.
Yeah. So that's one thing that y'all do not recommend is do not spray paint your, condenser.
No, we wouldn't.
That's terrible. So it's like we were talking about earlier, how it's like you see something on TikTok. That's how it looks. So yeah, that's definitely something not to do. And so, what are some of the common issues you see, during the peak summer season, especially in the condos where people are renting, they keep the air, vent, sliding glass doors open.
Wide open. That is usually an issue. And then drain lines and capacitors are the two of the biggest problems. And then probably third would be leaky coils.
Okay.
But what people don't realize is number one, number two, drain line and capacitor could be solved with a maintenance plan.
Yeah.
You know, because on the maintenance, we're flushing the drain and we're checking the capacitor every 6 months.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good because, I mean, and that's services y'all provide too.
Yes, ma'am.
And what you will find, I think, on the condos, like especially your rentals, sometimes they will have the wrong filter size in there.
Oh.
And when they do that, everything gets sucked up into the coal and it makes it very, very nasty. And then
So just something as simple as having the correct filter size.
Right.
Because I do see that a lot, and how they just jam something in, and then it does cause that concave in that filter, so it's just causing it to suck in and causing the coils to get dirty.
And then if they're too small, it allows that
to still go in.
Yeah.
Okay, well that is
And
very
I would say too, probably the quality of filter
Mm-hmm.
is very big too. Because if you just use the cheapest one you can find, you know, the coil is going to get dirty a lot faster.
Okay.
So if you're still going to change the filter every 30 days regardless, you know, I suggest a better quality filter.
Okay, well that is good to know. And just something simple like that, I mean like a 30-day, and as well as cleaning the out the drain line, you know, because it clogs so easily during the summertime.
Right.
Because you're constantly running that air conditioning because it gets hot and humid around here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, right now it feels good.
Right.
Just a couple months and then we'll be in full air conditioner mode. And so, what are some other things? You know, this is always one of those that we hear, you know, it's in inspection reports. It's either Clorox or vinegar. Like, what do you suggest for people to flush out the clogged?
Hot water.
Hot water,
Yes, because, I mean, Clorox and vinegar, that might do good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, so one thing about Clorox is, all the liquid goes down the drain line, but all the vapors still will come up onto that coil
Okay.
and potentially eat that coil prematurely.
Oh.
You know, and then you're looking at several $1,000 repair just to replace a coil.
Okay. So just get hot water.
Good hot water. Now,
not boiling.
not boiling, no.
Yeah, because it could possibly crack.
As hot as it'll come out of the sink.
Okay, okay, good to know.
And then, so I suggest that everybody have a funnel.
I've been boiling the water. That's good to know.
Now there have been times we had to boil a little water to
because it was pretty clogged up.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I suggest everybody just keep your old milk jug and a funnel right there next to your unit, and then every time you change your filter, which should be every 30 days.
Every 30 days.
To go ahead and just pour at least a gallon of hot water down the drain line.
Okay.
And that will reduce probably 60-70% of your problems right
well,
there.
that's really good to know because you do see even in inspection reports, inspectors are saying Clorox or a cup of vinegar, but no one ever has mentioned the vapors and things of that nature that could actually eat the coils. So that's good knowledge for that. And you know, people are really focusing right now on air quality. It seems that people have allergies, things of that nature. I mean, what do you see that people are doing to help with that, other than changing out the filters?
So UV lights.
I've shown several properties that have been that
Right.
installed.
So the Remy Halos are a real popular one. There's other brands. They pretty much all do the same thing. But you have to have it in combination with a good filter too.
Okay.
So if you're using the cheapest filter you can buy, you know, so the way the light works is it makes...
That was my next question. How does this work?
So how I describe it to people, and I tell people I'm not the person to really describe this. Probably somebody
doing good.
Probably somebody writing a book
We
on
don't
it
know.
to do
You
that.
can tell us
So
whatever.
whenever you're looking at the window during the daytime and the light shines through and you see all the particles floating in the air.
Yes.
So what the Remy Halo or other, you know, UV lights do is they make all that stuff stick together, and then when it gets sucked back to your return, it's supposed to stick to your filter instead of getting past the filter through
Because
the
now, instead of it being small little particles, it's the more clumped in the larger ones, and it can't pass through.
Right.
That is interesting. I never knew.
But if you use a cheap filter, it's still,
it's still
going to
gonna
go through.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
Right. So we often suggest, now you can't do this at condos most of the time, but we, you know, residential houses, we often suggest what they call a media filter.
Okay.
So it's going from a 1-inch flat filter to a 4-inch like accordion style filter.
I've seen those. Yeah.
So we really, if you're gonna invest in the UV light, you might as well invest in the better filtration
to keep it, and then obviously at that point it helps prolong the unit too. If you have not all those particles going through and getting the coils dirty,
right? Yes,
because that's a lot of times what we see. Inspections, they'll say the coils need to be cleaned. I mean, it is a very common request in inspection reports and such. And so, and then, for instance, like, let's just say, like, what are some early signs that, you're, like you said, people probably need to go ahead and, especially in this area, be on a 6-month or just a maintenance program.
Right.
But, like, what are some early signs that someone could be like, oh my gosh, does it make sounds or something of that nature where it needs attention?
Well, anything that sounds unordinary, drain line constantly backing up could be a sign of a dirty coil, which will then affect the way it cools. Longer run times of
to get
the
it cooled
unit.
Down.
Right. So if you're going from, when it was installed, let's just say it runs for 5 minutes. Well, now it's running 25 minutes.
Interesting.
And then I would say too, probably just not cooling as well.
Yeah.
Or no cool air at all.
Yeah, there you go. So. But that is good to know about just that you notice it's running longer to get it cooled to your desired temp.
Right.
Because I've never thought about that.
Right.
That is interesting. And then the clogging, like, if you're realizing it's getting clogged up more than normal. So those are some really good signs. And another thing is when I'm showing property, there's a lot of trees. I was guilty. Sometimes it would just be pine straw all over. It's just as easy, just right. Because I'm sure that ends up causing where it's not the, the circulation, the air circulation, because I guess that could cause it to have a harder time.
Yeah, the debris does it.
Yeah, I mean, if especially if you had leaves all the way from top to bottom inside,
yeah,
for sure.
Mine was like pine straw just covered, so it's almost like it was suffocating it. Right. So I'd have to go out there and knock it off, things of that nature. So made me feel like I was doing something. I don't know if I was or not, but made me feel good about it. And so, we've really talked a lot about how we can make the HVAC more efficient. What is something for instance, a lot of, like, I'm just showed a couple of houses that have new air conditioning units, and the buyers have asked, like, what's the tonnage? Because the houses are larger, really high ceilings, so they just want to make sure that the new ACs are equipped for that particular home. Obviously tonnage matters.
Right, yes ma'am.
So tell us a little bit about how it goes about when y'all are looking to install a new HVAC. What do y'all do to make sure that the correct tonnage is installed?
So anytime you change a piece of equipment out or do new construction, whatever the case may be, you should be doing a heat load calculation.
Okay.
So essentially what we have is just a software that we pay for. And in that software, we just enter, the number of rooms, the height of the ceiling, the insulation value of the home, windows, doors, exterior doors, and then
because of, I guess, with the if they don't have the proper weather seal, things of that nature, you have the draft.
And then also too, I mean, it goes down to which way does the front door sit, south, east, west.
That's when I was going to ask that.
So
does it ask about like your average climate? Does it ever ask about that?
Yeah, so ours is set to this climate.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good to know.
So if we were in Washington State, we would be
1 ton.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
But no, that's why I was curious if the tonnage only matter to the house, or if they do take into effect the actual location and the way the house faces.
It takes in number of occupants, everything, and that's one thing that we like to do that sets us apart. We're not a box to box. So like someone comes out, looks at it, they may say, okay, it says 1.5 ton. Then they put in a 1.5. But what if that wasn't what it needed?
Yeah, exactly.
What if the load calculation was something else?
Yeah.
So
just like how you were saying, it matters about the people. Like if there's a bunch, or people who work from home that don't. A lot of times, for instance, I'm not at my house during the day, but there are people who stay home and work. So I mean, that could
or if
also
you have a large family and you have 2 children in each
constantly
room or
cooking.
bunk
And it
beds.
just
I
gets-
mean,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean it does matter.
So yeah, because that could help, prolong. Because if you don't have a large enough unit based on your personal lifestyle, maybe it's great for the house, but not it. You put more wear and tear on it, and so it can't be equipped. Is that correct? Like that's how it could help.
Well, you can oversize one and you can undersize one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So oversizing it is really just as bad as undersizing.
Really?
One. Yes, because then it's going to short cycle, which causes the M word in your ductwork that we don't like to say, mold.
Oh, it rhymes with cold.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, oversizing can really be
So
just as bad
oversizing
as,
can cause mold in the
Yes.
ductwork.
Yes.
I did not know that.
So really, you want just whatever the heat load calculation calls for,
Yeah.
because air conditioning is technically about removing humidity.
It is.
A lot of people
dehumidifier.
exactly. A lot of people just think we're dumping cold air into a room.
No,
Well,
it's a dehumidifier.
it's definitely a science behind it.
Yeah, there
So,
it is. It's interesting. It's a lot more to it than I thought. So,
Right.
but yeah, that's interesting to know. I mean, and ductwork's also important too.
Yeah.
Correct
Yes.
ductwork.
Yes. You can have $1 million air conditioner, but if you got $100 ductwork job, you're gonna get bad results.
Yes. Okay. So that's why it's important also to see, make sure the ductwork's also
Right.
equipped.
So we tell people anytime they're gonna renovate a condo,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a good idea to have your ductwork changed. Because
Yeah.
once that sheetrock goes back up, you're not getting back behind there until either A, you have a problem, or B, you just want to change it.
Yeah. And can y'all clean ductwork as well? Do y'all have or do y'all
You-
recommend somebody for that? Because I do know like some people have had problems and then they had mold in the ductwork.
Mhm.
So because they could tell from the air quality when they would have it was
The test.
it was coming
Right.
from that.
So,
Even after they replaced all the sheetrock,
Right.
and everything.
Yeah.
so with the duct board and the flex, which is primarily what you see down here on the coast,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say you can't clean it, but every time you clean it, you run the risk of breaking down the ductwork.
Okay.
The fiberglass.
Okay.
So it's fiberglass duct board is what
Okay.
it is. So whenever you clean the ductwork, you're really breaking up all that fiberglass interior.
Mm-hmm.
I would always just suggest somebody. We don't currently do duct cleaning right now.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a firm believer in if you're gonna do it, you got to do it the right way.
Correct.
So there's a lot of companies, they'll just run a little brush in there, call it clean, and
And be done with it.
But there's much duct cleaning by itself is a business.
Gotcha.
And we're just not in that right now.
Yeah.
We want to focus on the service, the
For sure.
repairs, and all that.
Installation.
But I would always tell somebody if you're going to have your ductwork cleaned, have it quoted by a reputable cleaning company,
Yes.
not just
Somebody says, "Hey, I can do this."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then what I would tell them, that same person, is compare their price to just a new duct system.
I was just gonna ask. Sometimes it might, if it's
Right.
really bad,
Right.
Yeah.
like if you've had a problem with the mold in your home,
Right.
it might be better just to be on the safe side
Right.
to replace it. And well, like you said, just get quotes and compare.
Right.
Yeah.
So it might not be
if
that
it's
much
only
more.
$1,000 more to have everything brand new, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a no-brainer.
Right. Exactly.
Especially if you're putting in maybe a new AC or just had a problem with mold
Yeah.
throughout your
Mhm.
house.
Right. Yes,
So,
ma'am.
no, that's good knowledge there too. So, so what are some? I know y'all probably had some crazy service calls or memorable. Is there anything that you would,
There's
other than the spray painting?
Yeah, the
seeing the
spray
unit
paint.
spray
Yeah,
painted.
that
there's
was-
been a lot of interesting stuff probably over the course of my career.
Yeah.
But since we've had AC by the Sea open, I would say, not this last winter, but winter before last, we were doing a preventive maintenance on a house.
Mm-hmm.
And no sooner than I cut the unit in heat and stepped outside to make sure everything was working right, the indoor coil popped
Oh, no.
and spewed about 12 pounds of refrigerant all in this house.
12 pounds.
Yeah. So, well, that's how much it took when we made the repair and filled it back up.
Yeah.
So I just know it quit working, so I went inside because I thought maybe they cut the thermostat off.
Yeah.
And I went in there and it was a foggy, smoky haze, and the lady was ready to cuss me out because, you know, what did you do to my air conditioner?
Yeah, it was very bad, like very bad timing.
Very bad. It's just unfortunately one of the things that happen, and you know,
it was a freak accident.
Right.
It's not like something could have done. It was just something with the unit, not you. But it was like, but you were the person that
and you were there.
That's one of the joys of business ownership, I guess.
I understand.
But we ended up getting them a call the very next morning. You know, we were able to use their strip heat overnight to keep them warm.
Mm-hmm.
We got them a call the next morning, got it put in, no charge at all. You know, we took care of it.
I always say, you know, everybody's going to make a mistake. It's what you do to correct the mistake is what makes the difference. And that's how I go by. Nobody's perfect, but what you do to fix it is how it makes the difference. But speaking of, you know, something happened. I had my air conditioner when I sold my house. It was probably like 20 years old. I mean, I lived on Wedgwood Drive in Gulf Shore, so I wasn't near the beach.
Right.
But no, I mean, it lasted for a long time.
Well, they don't make them like they used to either.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, I had it maintenanced and everything. Well, during the snowstorm, my heater wouldn't obviously kick on because it was so cold outside, and all of a sudden I woke up, it was like 50 degrees in my house. I thought my dog and I were gonna just freeze to death, and I kept putting it on emergency heat and it would not kick on. And everybody's like, well, is it, I mean, my clients, and I was talking to them, they were like, well, it's just smell like it's burning. It's just smell. I was like, it is not burning. Finally, I had someone come. Obviously, they couldn't, you know, come till everything thawed out.
Right.
And so whoever had installed, because I bought my house 6 years later after it was installed in 2005, they had never hooked up the emergency heat. So is that not crazy? I could freeze them to death. Thank gosh someone dropped off a radiator heater for me.
Oh my gosh.
And we survived, obviously. Didn't freeze to death. I realized I could not survive in the wild.
Right.
I didn't even think about opening the oven and turning the oven up, you know, to heat up. I was like, well, I am not equipped mentally for this camping lifestyle of any sort. But no, someone had not hooked up the emergency heat.
And that wouldn't be the first time I found that down here either.
Yes,
we're just in such a hot climate.
For sure.
Yeah.
In 15 years I had owned my home, I had not needed the emergency heat. So that just goes to show you for that long a period of time, and then when I needed it, I was putting clothes in dryers, like taking hot showers. That's awful. So that was my memorable moment of air conditioning. And so obviously there's a lot of HVAC companies down here. Y'all service Baldwin County.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what makes AC by the Seat different than the other companies?
I would just say number one, integrity.
Yeah.
Just doing the right thing, especially when nobody's looking.
Yes.
Because, you know,
God
given right.
Yep.
Because when you work in the condos, 9 times out of 10, nobody's there.
Yeah.
So, you know, so it's real easy to say, I did this, I did that, and nobody would ever know.
Yep, that's true.
But my luck, if I were to try that, somebody would have come behind me the next day and say, he didn't do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
So I'm big on integrity and, you know, teaching our guys, that's what we do too. The right thing when nobody's looking, and especially when somebody's looking.
Exactly.
You know, so, and then also too, just to have an affordable HVAC service company.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because, I mean, people right now, it is, you know, people are always struggling, doesn't matter. I mean, there's costs here, there, and prices are increasing, so that's great. And another thing is, too, I've noticed, obviously we've had other HVAC companies, y'all have said some things that I had never heard before. I mean, and I've dealt, you know, selling for 22 years and seeing the specs. You know, I've sold almost over, 700 properties. You know, so I've seen a lot of inspection reports, but, you know, some of the things you said I've never even thought of or heard. So I've already can tell y'all have some knowledge that I haven't heard. So that's, you know, right up there with also the integrity.
Right.
So that's great. And then y'all also have a program.
We do.
Too. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're really big in our community. We try to sponsor and be a part of so many events, whether it's at the schools, whether it's in the community, doing anything we can. But one of the biggest things we do is every quarter we pick a local nonprofit, and we have a give back program. So it's called By the Sea Blessings.
Oh, that's great.
And so every quarter we pick a new one. And what we've been doing is picking ones, maybe they're newer or maybe not everyone has heard of them. You know, they're not going to be your bigger nonprofits. We'll get there someday, but we really want to emphasize on those smaller ones, the ones that are really doing good in the community, who need that extra voice to get them out, and we can be that extra voice. So we do a quarterly give back program to our local nonprofits.
That's great, and that's called
By the Sea Blessings.
I love that. It's great. I love that y'all pick, you know, ones that you said that are up and coming or just don't have the outreach that need it,
right?
And that you're an extra voice for them.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I think that's wonderful. Well, great. Well, I really appreciate y'all coming.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Y'all, thank you. And I've always wondered how the UV light works. Now I know. Now I can be intelligent when I mean, I could have Googled, but you know, I guess I just was being lazy. I don't know. But now I know. So, well, that's great. Well, I appreciate y'all coming and thank y'all for watching. We hope you learned something, and we'll have your contact information so that way they can give you a call.
Sounds great.
Right,
Thank you.